everyone, welcome back to another video, and today we are going to be ranking every single book of Diary of a Wimpy Kid from worst to best. But first, here's a disclaimer. This is all my opinion, and if you enjoy a book that I hate, then that's awesome. I like seeing you enjoy it. I like seeing you enjoy a book that I just can't enjoy. Everyone has their own opinions, and this is my opinion. So take it like a pinch of salt. Anyways, let's get started. But before we get started, I need to explain the status. On the side of the books, there will be the status. If the score is 1 out of 6, it means bad. If it's 2 out of 6, that means it's forgettable. If it's 3 out of 6, it's meh. If it's 4 out of 6, it's good. If it's 5 out of 6, it's amazing. And if it's 6 out of 6, it's fantastic. Anyways, let's get on to the video for real this time. In the last place we got here is number 19, 18, and 17 is a tied title. Every single Diary of an Awesome Friendly Kid book that I need to cough. Sorry, I got like a really dry throat. So that's why, I kind of sound a little weird. But I do not like Diary of an Awesome Friendly Kid. I'll explain to you. Number 1, these designs right here are ugly and creepy. Like over here we got Rowley, and Rowley's not supposed to look like that. I know it's Rowley's journal, but come on, like I know Rowley doesn't know forgets to draw a nose, but can't Jeff Kennedy make it a little bit less ugly? Like if it was a different art style if the designs look different than the ones now, it would have been higher on the list. Sure, maybe not even if these designs are better, if they change the designs, it still won't be a good book, but it would be higher. And plus, look at Greg. Where is his? He looks terrifying without his nose. and we got to see and we also the Greg is and these books are like Rowley torture. Like Greg is not a nice person in the books, but he does have some sympathy. And well, I know Greg is a sociopath. The books from the main series to have him be a sociopath, but I think his sociopathic behavior is even worse in the Rowley Jefferson books. And I just really think I really think they could have like lowered it down a bit. But if I had to rank them, Awesome Friendly Adventures has to be the one I enjoyed the least. Because it's just Greg because instead of like calling it Awesome and Friendly Adventures, could just say there we go. That's a better title. And that's what actually happens in the book, other than an awesome, friendly adventure. A diary of an awesome, friendly kid is the mix. It's not the best, but it's not like totally the worst. Awesome, friendly adventures is the worst. Or I should say, Greg being full of himself for like 217 pages, while Diary of Wimpy Kid, Diary of an Awesome Friendly Kid is basically just Greg being a bad friend for 217 pages. You see, this is what Greg should look like, not this. Not what is that? That looks horrible. Larry Jefferson's awesome, friendly, spooky stories has to be the one that's the most tolerable. Not the best. It's still it's not as bad as these two, but it's still very bland. Like, most of the stories aren't really spooky. They kind of just like feel stupid. But I really love the cover on this. Sure, the Rally and Greg looks ugly, but I just really like the color of it. A nice purpley color. I just really like the color of this book. Nice purple. Even though Awesome Friendly Spooky Stories is bland, it's way better than these two. By far. Number 16, Double Down. A lot of people say it's the worst out of the series, but I wouldn't say it's the worst. No, Diary of an Awesome Friendly Kid is the worst. So, but if you don't count the spin-off, then this would definitely be my least favorite. Okay, I don't really like the plot. The pig is bad. The stories are bland. And the stories are all over the place, like blah, 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 like imagine like a shoe that has a knot that is tangled up, or maybe some tangled headphones. Just imagine trying to untangle them just to use them. It's like that in this book, but instead of untangling them to use it, you have to untangle the stories just to understand it. And boy, is it difficult. It does have some good parts, like that the Halloween party is awesome. The Halloween party plot is good. Is my favorite out of this book. Okay, but other than that, it just feels like a mess. But anyway, oh yeah, and also I really like the cover of this. The book may be bad, but the cover looks amazing. I think that orange and yellow go great together. Just gives me summer vibes. Since summer's around the corner, it kind of just gives me summer vibes. Like maybe an orange and lemon. Yeah, it's really nice. Number 15, The Deep End. Okay, this book is bad. Like, when I first saw the cover, I thought it was like, oh my god. And I was like, oh my gosh, this looks amazing. Oh, I wonder what happened to it. And I thought, and when I first saw that, when I first saw the cover, I thought it was like, I thought it was like a, it was about, Greg joining like a swimming. It's about Greg, Greg and Greg going to join in a swimming class because his mom forced him to do so, and he gets stuck on a wall, and that could have been awesome. But then when I actually read the book, I was disappointed. Like, come on, like this book is mostly isn't about underwater. This one scene where they go into a lake, but that only lasted like, oh wait a minute, I can't. Oh wait a minute, there's a couple of scenes where it features water in it. Never mind. Like them going into a lake and at that pool at the park thing, at the trailer park thing. But I just felt like that my idea of this book would have been way better than them being on than the mom forcing the family to go on a field trip, like for the third time in the series. Oh, I wonder where I've seen this before. Long call. The getaway. But I just feel like Jeff Kinney is running out of ideas. Jeff Kinney? Why did I say Jeff Kinney? I meant to say Jeff Kinnan, not Kinney. Like, no, I meant to say Jeff Kinney. Like, I don't know. I'm not sure if I'm saying Jeff Kinnan or Jeff Kinney. Yeah, Jeff Kinnan. Yeah, that's how you're supposed. You know what? I'm just gonna call him Jeff. I just feel like Jeff is running out of ideas. Like, I just felt like, Jeff, you should have done by the cover. You should have make a book that is wall themed. Like, maybe have Greg join the swimming team. Maybe it's a prequel book to Roderick Wars. We all know that in the beginning of Roderick Wars, Greg is at a swimming team. Why not make this book a prequel book to show what happened at the swimming pool thing? That would have been way better than enough book about them going on a road trip. Okay, some people like this book, some people hate it. I just think it's not the best from Jeff Kinnan. Definitely not as bad as Double Down, but definitely not good. But, oh yeah, I forgot one thing. This is supposed to be a diary of a wimpy kid. This book series is supposed to be relatable. Hey, have you ever done this? Have you ever done that? But no, it just made it it just made it unrelatable. At the end, Greg and his family is surfing on the RV in the river and is about to hit a bridge, and Manny is driving, and when they jump off into the lake, Manny is still in the car and he drives it to the bridge and it snaps into place, and all the rest of the RVs go over it since he fixed the bridge. Yeah, that ain't relatable. Like, that had not happened to me, but it probably happened to someone. No, that's probably did not happen. I don't think bridges work like that. And plus, wouldn't the RV sink to the bottom really fast? Since it's heavier than the rock, not a feather. It's not a feather. It's a steel vehicle. Oh, never mind. Let's get onto the next one. Number 14. Sorry, cough. Number 14. Wrecking ball. I'm coming like a wrecking ball. I remember me buying this from the book fair from school. And I went through like 2/5 of the book, and I just stopped. I got bored from the story. The story was not interesting. The first half was good with the yard sale and the construction bit, but after that, it kind of just goes downhill. It lost the relatable in wimpy kid. It lost the relatability. It just doesn't feel like a Diary of a Wimpy Kid movie. Book. It feels like the diary of an awesome and super cool and action-packed adventures of a kid. Wrecking Ball. Also, and the reason why I call it unrealistic is because there's a scene in the book where Manny builds a whole house of his toolbox and some pieces of leftover wood and builds a house after it. And Manny is like, what, 3 years old? How old is he building a house at 3 years old? Not to mention, he installed electricity in there. How? Anyways, I'm going to move on. Like, after I seen Manny build a house, I was like, okay, this is completely unrealistic, and I'm out of here. The book series had me at the start, but then lost me at the end. Bye. I still buy their books because they release a new book every now and then. I still buy their books, but sometimes the new books aren't really very good. Sometimes I just feel like the newer books aren't as memorable and great as the books 1 to 10. Anyways, on to number 13. Number 13 is The Getaway. Where have I seen this plot before? Greg and Greg's mom forces the family to go on a holiday, and crazy and wacky stuff happens when they aboard the plane. Oh boy, hadn't seen that plot before. The long car, the deep end. This isn't as bad as the deep end. Like, it does have good scenes. Like, it does have some good parts to it. But the only part I like was on the plane. I just felt like the whole book should be about them aboarding on a plane. Like make the start of the book about them aboarding the plane, most of the book of them on the plane, and and then the end of the book that make arriving at their destination. Like maybe yeah. Like why? I just really like the plane scene. I just really like it. But I just feel like the plane scene is over way too soon. Oh yeah, and there's also another scene that I really like about the book, and that is the spider plot. Even those, and I like how there's a spider, and Greg is afraid of it, because that is very relatable. I am also afraid of spiders. But other than those two parts, this book is kind of forgettable. Like, number 12 is the third wheel. Okay, I'm not going to say it's bad, but I am going to say it's kind of boring. The third wheel is kind of Like it has good moments. Like Uncle Gary was really good and really funny, but the third wheel, it's just about Greg getting dumped by girls. It's about Greg. Like it's about Greg trying to find a date and goes on and like tries to date a bunch of girls and he gets dumped. I just feel like the story got like a little repetitive, you know? Like it's like Greg meets a girl, tries to date her, gets dumped. Greg finds another girl, dates and asks her out. She dumps him. It's like repetitive. It's like the same plot over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. And that is why the third wheel is number 12. Number 11 is Big Shot. This is the best book of this is one of the better book of the newer ones. Like I just feel like when after the 15th, after the deep end came out, I was like, the 16th book is probably going to be about them going on another road trip, blah blah blah, crazy stuff happens. But no, this book actually succeeds and amuses me. Like I like every single part of this. The backgrounds, it looks amazing. It looks like an actual gym. It feels really real. There's no over the top crazy stuff happening. It's amazing. And I just feel it feels so good. Like I feel like it's about Greg's mom forcing him to join on this on like a football. No, it's a basketball. Come on, Waffle Face. Have you seen the actual book? Yes, I have seen the actual books. I had seen the book. I just messed up my lines. Okay, but don't. Okay. Forces Greg to play basketball. He joins a team. The team is awful, but I like how he tries to act bad so he wouldn't get on a team. That's really smart. You know, if one of my parents forced me to sign up for a sport I don't want to, I think I might to be bad on purpose so I won't be on the team. But no, it feels on his face, and he actually joins a team that is really bad. But it's really, and I really like every single bit of it. Sure, it had potential of having Rowley on one of the teams, because I just feel like we need a little more Greg and Rowley, since Greg and Wally their friendship, like Wally like Wally is slowly stopped being a secondary character and becoming an ordinary character. So I even think, like in the deep end, he only appears in one picture. In the big shot, he appears in like one picture or two. It's like he's disappearing. But I really like the design, how they try to make the book look like a pair of gym shorts. I really like it. Number 10, The Long Car. Not the best, but not the worst. It's one of the best books out there. Like, it looks nice. I like the orange background. It gives me summer vibes. And summer's my favorite holiday. It's like my favorite season. Nice breeze, ice cream. But what I don't like about summer is going in on a road trip. Unless if it's a road trip to the movies, I don't want to come. Because inside a hot car in a hot summer day, it's not good. And also, Greg is at his most relatable here. Like, this is the first time they actually used the road trip story well, since it's the first time they did the road trip plot. But the road trip plot was good. Like the Beardo family is good. The place they visited is awesome. The hotel scenes, it's good. But the movie, the movie. Hold on, let me. Long car. This book right here, very bad. Very bad. My sister's playing Juice Ward in the other room. A wimp will rise. Yeah, more like a wimp will fall. The book is way better than the movie. But I'm going to move to a different room. But I'm going to tell my sister to go quiet down.
Volume 4.
I'm doing a Wimpy Kid Ranger video.
Hey Alexa, volume 2.
Thanks, Sierra. Okay, now I'm back. And I really like the long car. It's better than the book. I really like the long car. It's better than the movie. Number 9, The Ugly Truth. Like, it's my least favorite of the original 6, but it's still pretty good. That proves how much the original 6 books are. Sorry, I hiccup. I enjoyed it, like, when I was a kid, like, when I was, like, 8 years old, it was like one of my books. It was like one of the books that I felt meh about. But as I grow older, I start to relate to Greg. Greg is about growing up. It's about growing up And I really like the plot where he has to take care of an egg. Best segment of the whole series. Very iconic. Okay. And I like how he didn't tell his mom that and I like how his mom just scrambled the egg before she realized it. Oh, this is your egg? I thought, oh, this is your egg that you have to take care of for health before, or else you get an F? Oh, here, eat your scrambled eggs. I just feel like, that's a good segment. I would definitely read this book again. Number 8, the original Diary of Wimpy Kid book. Okay, before you guys boo me off this, okay, one thing I need to make clear before I get booed off off the video. Boo! The original book is very good. One of the best. But I just felt like, and you know how people say nothing beats an original? They are kind of right. But in my opinion, I just think there are 7 more books. I just think there are 7 books that are better than the original. Like, there are loads of books that I think are like 7 books that I find better than the original. Like, the original is good. It's like number 8. It's like, that's why it's on the scale 5 out of 6. It's amazing. Yeah. It's an awesome book and amazing to start off a whole franchise. But the only problem I had with it was the story. It kind of felt a little bland, but that's okay since it is the very first book and we are still getting introduced to the character. Like, every single book and TV show starts on a rocky road. My show, Doom and Me-Man, happened the same way. The very first few episodes of Doom and Me-Man, they were trash. They were filled with poop jokes. They were filled with characters screaming. But after a while, it started changing and getting better. With better backgrounds, better jokes, no poop jokes. And most importantly, character development. Instead of Doom-Man going from a one-dimensional dummy, he's a normal young adult that's struggling to be mature and fitting into and struggling to go into his adulthood, and is kind of clueless. So, and he wants to be an artist. So, I just feel like that the new Doom-Man is loads better than the original, than the old Doom-Man. Same thing with Diary of Wimpy Kid. Like Diary of Wimpy Kid. The first one is great. Well, it's great, but I just feel like there's a whole lot more books. And there are like more books that are better than the original. The original it does not have to be number 1 just because it's the very first book. No, it could be like the same thing with cartoon shows. The pilot isn't always number 1 because it's the first episode. Most of the top number 1 picks are usually episodes from season 2 or maybe season 3 or maybe some from the later seasons or maybe an episode in season 1 that is not the pilot. I just feel like the first book isn't always number one. This book is very, very good. But I just think there are books that are better than it. Number 7, The Last Straw. Amazing title, amazing picture. You got Greg in his underwear. I don't know. I don't see that in the actual book. Well, probably because I haven't read the book in a while. But that looks very good. But that is a very hilarious picture. Like, I don't know what's going on in the picture. Like, I don't know what's going on in the picture. You know, maybe he is or anything. But that is really hilarious. Just imagine you're a muffle and you see a book on the shelves that your kid might like. You pull it out and you realize and you see this on the front cover and you're like, oh, never mind, I ain't getting this for little Billy. I just find that had to happen at some point. Like maybe like a parent sees a kid, maybe like a parent sees that on the cover and they might think, this book is full of naked people. And put it away. But this book is actually pretty good. If a mom pulls that out of the shelves and sees this on the cover, they might think, okay, what is my child reading? What is this? A guy in his underwear? But this book is really, really good. It's the third book, and I really like the plot. Greg tries to bond with his dad before or else he goes to military school. Pretty good idea for a book. Number 9, The Meltdown. This is a very underrated book. When this book came out, I heard loads of people talking about it, and then after it was released, no one talks about it. I just feel like it's really underrated. The snowball fight was awesome. It's really, really cool. Like the snowball fight, Wally was amazing like always, and everything was pretty good. There's funny scenes. And I really like how they made the title look like some icicles. I really like that. The book is about the mom forcing Greg to play outside, and they have a big epic snowball fight. And it's really, really cool. Anyways, number 5, Dog Days. I love this book. Not my favorite, but I have to say it really deserves the appreciation it got. It's about summer, and I really like summer vibes. Like, I really like books, TV shows, movies that takes place in the summer. Like that. Like the lighting of the sun, the beach backgrounds. Very awesome. And definitely a good book to start off. And definitely a good book. I highly recommend you buy it for your kids. Number 4, Hard Luck. I might be a little biased since this is the very first book I've read from the Diary of a Wimpy Kid book. But I just feel like it's good in total. Like we got here is the 8 bars, like him trying to. We got here the 8-ball plot was good. The missing ring that split the family apart was pretty dramatic. but pretty good. And we also got like there's also some alphabets. Like the whole book is just completely good altogether. Like a huge improvement. It is way better than the door wheel by a mile. It's just it's so good. I would want to read it again. Number 3, Old School. Completely underrated. But come on, like no one talks about this, and it's my door favorite. Like I like the plot where Greg goes to like a campsite. That is really cool. I like how he is like in like a new location. And I like the details in the cabin, in the campsite, everywhere. I just really like Old School. And also I like how we're in a camp. It feels so realistic and relatable. Even though I had not been to a camp myself, there's always I did watch a lot of TV shows, and in the TV show where a cartoon character goes to camp, there's always like a plot where there's always like a scene where a character tells them about an urban legend. And I just feel like that the guy with the long claws is great. It's a great unborn legend. I think Old School takes the bronze medal of best Diary of a Wimpy Kid book. Number 2 goes to Wardrick Wars. Wardrick Wars takes the silver medal in great book. It is the very like if I had to pick if there is a shelf and I have to pick 2 out of one of the first 4 books, like if my options are the original Wardrick Wars, Dog Days, The Last Straw, I would definitely go with Wardrick Wars. It's funny, it's enjoyable. Wardrick, I love this character, and I really hope he gets another book to himself. Like when Jeff Cannon said that, hey guys, we're gonna have a brand new spin-off based off of a Wimpy Kid character, and I was like praying it would be Roderick. But no, it was Rowley. Like, Rowley's fine, but it should have been Roderick. Yeah, but it is what it is. This book is pretty good. The party scene, the bonding between these two. Heck, the beginning was good. And the science fair project, icing on the cake. Oh yeah, and the talent show was the best out of the book and the movie that it was and the book and the movie. So if you really want, so I would definitely recommend Wardrick Wars. And so Wardrick Wars takes the silver medal of best Diary of a Wimpy Kid book, but it may be number 2, but it's not my favorite. And for my number 1 favorite Diary of a Wimpy Kid book is Cabin Fever. Now you might say, Waffle Face, Wardrick Wars is better with the Cabin Fever. Cabin Fever is fine, but Wardrick Wars is good. Way better. Wardrick Wars is good, but Cabin Fever, I don't know. I just really like winter vibes in cartoons, books. Like, come on. Like, look at that snow. It looks fun out there. And having them stuck in a house, pretty good. It's a whole lot better than them going on a road trip or, maybe. And it's a whole lot better than them going on a road trip for the fourth time in a row. But it's really good. I like the plot. Manny is like everyone is in character. With Frank, Greg is still a sociopath. Roderick is very chill. The mom is the most positive out of the situation, and Manny, as always, is the spawn from heck. Everyone is in character, and that is what. And it's about Greg and his family being stuck in the house and having to survive it on ketchup and heat from each other. It just feels like survival, even though it's not relatable. I just feel I enjoyed it, even though it's not as relatable as like old school and stuff. It's still a pretty fun adventure, and it has to be the best book of Diary of a Wimpy Kid. Anyways, now that I ranked all of the Diary of a Wimpy Kid books, now I can go back to Ant-Man. Ding! Ding, ding. Hey, someone sent me a sneak peek to the new Diary of a Wimpy Kid book. I'm going to see what the cover of the new book looks like. Oh my goodness! This looks awesome!